Great, thank you all very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we can stay on the steps. We're going to have a short meeting. Stay where you are. I'm told there's about 80 can get into the council chamber. So, come on, don't let me forget, but we need to come on to that because there's probably more than 80 here. So, some of you may have to stay outside if they... Alright. And you can hold the banner outside if you want. First of all, I'd like to welcome you all and thank you so much for turning out on this Thursday night to lobby your full council meeting, and that's a brilliant thing to do. And we're here today to witness the handing in of our emergency petition to oppose the South Tyneside and Sunderland councils funding in any way this path to excellence. And I'll come on to the petition in a minute. We also have John McCabe here who is going to present the petition, so he will say a few words in a minute as well. And we also have a statement from fabulous statement from Emily Buck, who couldn't be here, which I'll read to you as well in a minute. How this all came about was because the chief executive and hospital chiefs said that they could not fund the path to excellence via the NHS. The NHS said that they would not fund the path to excellence for phase 2. And they're on record as saying, all of the time they may change their tune, but they're on record as saying that this was, if this didn't get the funding, the path to excellence wouldn't go forward. They wouldn't be able to transform local services. Now, many of you are here because we've been fighting the last 3 years to save children's 24-hour A&E, save maternity and our special care baby unit, and the complete loss of our stroke services. Over that year, that was all funded by the NHS, that first phase. And it's left us, or will leave us on April the 5th with less services to access in the town. So that, and that funding also included, when we challenged them through a judicial review, that funding also covered them getting the most expensive government lawyers to try and trash our case in the High Court in Leeds. So that's what that capital funding was for. Now, so already we've lost through phase 1 vital services that we feel should still be in South Tyneside. Already this they've already publicised the ideas for phase 2, and they include that they could possibly reduce the hospital from 300 beds down to 65, and it would no longer have critical care, no longer have acute services that you could access at the hospital. Yeah, it may. These are ideas they've already floated. The minimal idea would we would lose emergency trauma and emergency surgery. But they seem to have the most investment would be for transforming the hospital in the way I've just mentioned. Yeah, we might have a shiny new imaging centre, but we won't have the same wonderful services that we have now to access. Yeah, and I think the other thing is that the health bosses might get a cheap loan off the council if they arrange it. But we think that the main reason that they're doing it is because they want the council to buy into this second phase without knowing what it's going to be. And if they buy into it, then they're most likely to not oppose the services that will be lost. I think it's very clear that we were one with the council and the scrutiny committee. They did a brilliant job to oppose the phase 1 when they referred it to the Secretary of State. And there won't be that same impetus to refer it to the Secretary of State if they're also funding this phase 2. So that's a real main reason for us to do this emergency motion. So I'd like to read you the petition that we've handed in to remind everyone. It's a petition to oppose South Tyneside and Sunderland Council's financing in any way the Path to Excellence programme that will downgrade South Tyneside Hospital services, recognising that we have been in correspondence with the leaders of both South Tyneside and Sunderland Council, expressing our concerns of what the Chief Executive of South Tyneside and Sunderland Trust, Ken Bremner, has said on record. He has said that because NHS England and the government won't fund the Path to Excellence Phase 2, they are seeking 35 million from South Tyneside Council and 15 million from Sunderland Council. Otherwise, the Path to Excellence programme will not go ahead. Recognising that both councils are not responsible for the capital programme of the NHS, and the NHS England has refused to fund phase 2 of the Path to Excellence programme, and that this calls into question the value of such a scheme for the residents who pay for our council services. We, the undersigned, oppose South Tyneside and Sunderland Council being involved in financing in any way the downgrading and loss of vital emergency services at our hospitals. Right, I'd next like to read to you the statement we just had today from Emma Buck. She says, "Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I cannot be with you all today as you continue to fight for our hospital. I want to make it clear from the outset that we are fighting for our hospital because of this rotten Tory government. A government whose plans for the destruction of our NHS should be resisted, not assisted. I wrote to the leader of the council on the 28th of May 2019 asking specific questions about this loan being sought by the hospital trust from the council. I've received no reply to any of those questions. Here in South Tyneside, we've already lost our stroke, consultant-led maternity, 24 paediatric services and our special care baby unit. Now we are losing even more with our A&E, emergency and planned surgery, planned care and outpatients, clinical support services, all facing changes under phase 2 of the CCG's Hospital Trust, so-called Path to Excellence. I think you might already know that my view is that this is the downgrading of our hospital, and the evidence is certainly stronger than ever to demonstrate that. It concerns me greatly that the Labour Group statement mentions none of these losses. The prospect of the council giving a £35 million loan to the trust to enable it to continue with its path to disaster beggars belief. For clarity, a loan of this magnitude will need sign-off from the councillors. The smoke and mirrors around this, as always, are obfuscating the reality. If the loan is granted by the council, then that becomes the responsibility of South Tyneside Council taxpayers, in the same way that if you act as a guarantor, you're responsible if the loan is not repaid for any reason. That will remain our own responsibility for the term of the loan. Do we really want to proactively facilitate the downgrading of our own hospital services? I certainly do not support that in any way, and I urge our councillors to do the right thing with only the interests of the people of South Tyneside at the forefront of their minds by voting against this loan. Because if the loan doesn't go ahead, the Path to Excellence is dead. The government won't pay for it. To remove our services to another local authority area and ignore the dangers that poses to families and individuals is no way acceptable. to shift the focus to the bricks and mortar of the hospital site with no reference to the loss of services dehumanises this critical issue and only gives half of the true picture. If my questions formally submitted as Member of Parliament for this town are completely ignored, then in turn my constituents are being disregarded. Emma Lilbuck, MP for South Shields. Okay, well, we've got plenty of time. John McCabe's now going to say a few words.
I'm looking at children here on the town hall steps. I'm looking at everybody here on the town hall steps. And one of the reasons this is being discussed tonight is because you have put pressure on people in power. I'm not going to get political. I'm a Labour councillor. The Labour Party was the party that invented the NHS. We are the party who should support it. But in this campaign, it's been a non-political campaign. We have people from the Green Party, we have people who are independent, we have many trade unions, we have other people here. And it's about people power. Yay! We need to get the message out loud and clear. There are still some people who are receiving mail today telling them that the accident emergency is going to close at 10 o'clock at night for children, who are pulling me up in the street, are boarding me and saying, I didn't know anything about this. I don't know how they don't know anything about it. We need to get more people involved. The pressure that you have put on here tonight demonstrates one thing, that councillors, politicians should listen to what the people say. I am not going to sell my soul. I do not believe that the £35 million should have even been discussed. What we should be discussing is how we can improve and ameliorate the services at South Tyneside. And if we're going to invest any money, and I'm looking at Marion Langley and others here, if we're going to invest any money at all, it should be in the resources and staff at South Tyneside. If 35 million was pumped into the staff, then we would not have a problem and we wouldn't be downgrading the services at South Tyneside. And I'm going to finish quickly if I can, Roger and Gemma. Thanks very much for inviting me. And thank you Councillor Hamilton, for this. At the end of the day, we've got to stick together. We've got to fight together. Yay! People didn't get what they want because they sat on their backsides. They got out there and they fought for what they wanted. Women fought for the vote. They've got it. The common people like us and me have got the common vote. We've got it because we fought for it. The Berlin Wall didn't come down because people sat on their backsides. It come down because people protest. So I want to thank each and every one of you here tonight for coming here and giving a public demonstration about what we are about. We are here to serve the community and not serve ourselves. Thank you.
Yeah, me.
Other than John McCabe, is Angela, is any other Labour councillors here?
They've been down and they've gone
Just
back.
the two.
Thanks very much, John. Thanks very much for that. And we're also pleased that you've been with the campaign over the last 3.5, maybe 4 years, because have immediately agreed to hand in our petition tonight. Just to conclude this rally, I think it's really important what has been said, and let's not forget that the Thatcher government is driving this wrecking of our NHS, as Emma Lilbuck said. And it's very interesting because if you actually look, I was at the Health and Wellbeing Board yesterday, and the chair of the Health and Wellbeing Board said another one of their wonderful mantras. They go on about self-care, they say, that which means fend for yourself. He said we need to push back against the industrialisation of the healthcare system. Well, didn't we hear that from Thatcher? We need to push back from the industrialisation of our manufacturing industry. And as the government is doing exactly the same to our public services that was done to our manufacturing industry. And it was no accident that South Tyneside Hospital and the council were the biggest employers. So I think that that's a very important point. So we have to keep that in mind, that we want people to unite together, regardless of their political views and sides, whether they are in any different party or whatever. We need to unite to defend and fight to save our hospitals. Let's remember, healthcare is a right, and that should be guaranteed. And we shouldn't have to fight in this way to defend our local hospital. Just to conclude, as I said at the beginning, apparently only 80 of us can get into the gallery, so some of you won't be able to get in. But we're in there to witness the presentation of our petition. Don't be surprised, nothing will be debated about the petition. It's just simply handed to the mayor. And my understanding is it'll be debated at the following council meeting. So just to let you know, that's what's going to happen. So there's nothing exciting going to happen, but your presence in the council chamber will be really important. So thank you for that.
The next business is to deal with 3 petitions received. I will explain the procedure to follow for the petitions. The appropriate member will present the petition, stating the subject of the petition and the number of signatories. We will not debate the petition today. After the petition has been presented in accordance with the Constitution, I will move that it be referred to the appropriate body. Petition 1 to Save South Tyneside Hospital campaign. It's a written petition. I will ask Councillor McCabe to present the petition. Councillor McCabe.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. As you said, there's no discussion. Mr. Mayor, please accept this petition opposing South Tyneside and Sunderland Council financing in any way the Path to Excellence programme that will downgrade South Tyneside hospital services. This petition has 991 signatures.
Councillor McCabe. In accordance with standing orders, I propose that the petition stands referred to the appropriate officer for further consideration. Is that seconded? Seconded. Is that agreed? Agreed. Petition 2. From the Save South Tyneside Hospital campaign, an online petition, I will ask Councillor McCabe to present the petition. Councillor McCabe.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, please accept this petition. Save South Tyneside Hospital. No financing for downgrade of South Tyneside Hospital. And this petition has 1,005 online signatures. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McCabe. In accordance with standing orders, I propose that the petition stands referred to the appropriate officer for further consideration. Is that seconded? Seconded. Is that agreed?